Hola, hola, hola. Welcome to another episode of Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. This is a podcast for the Mujer-Preneur where we get raw and real about going from surviving to thriving in our life and our negocios. Bienvenidas. Yo soy Marti Ángel, Latina Biz Coach, also known as the Empowering Latina Coach, y yo soy su anfitriona para este show. I am your host for this show. Let me just remind you, though, that there are no coincidences in this world. There's no other reason other than you are meant to hear the message today. That's why you are here today. So I invite you to sit back, open your mind, open your heart to allow yourself to be empowered, motivated, and moved into action as you listen today. Quiero recordarles que no hay coincidencias en este mundo. Este mensaje que vas a escuchar hoy es porque lo debes de escuchar. Este es mensaje para ti. Again, I am Marty Angel, and I just want to remind you que a veces hablamos español, sometimes we speak Spanglish, and sometimes we speak English. But as a Latina Biz Coach, it is my passion to work with the underserved, underprivileged, and underrepresented. But it is my purpose, mujeres, to help you, the Latina, bilingual, and BIPOC mujer-preneur, gain clarity and focus on who you serve so you can up-level from brick and mortar to click and order and to begin to rock your six figures so that you can live your best life. I would love to be your coach, but today we have a message for you. Este podcast es para la mujer emprendedora donde nos ponemos reales acerca de lo que hemos pasado, sobrevivido y prosperado para salir adelante en nuestra vida y en nuestros negocios. Hoy este mensaje es para ti. So let's get to it. Hoy vamos a escuchar este mensaje. Vamos de una vez. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Mujer de Éxito Unbounded. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I just wanted to say I am so incredibly grateful. Gracias por estar aquí. Gracias por escucharme en este podcast. Este show es para ustedes. So I am just so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you, my listeners. And if you watch me on YouTube, then more power to you as well. And I remind you, drop me some love, a comment, questions. I love that. So today we're going to be talking about 5 ways men can be better allies to Latinas and BIPOC women entrepreneurs so that we can finally overcome these stereotypical challenges. 5 maneras de que los hombres pueden ser mejor allies a Latinas y BIPOC mujer-preneurs para que nos ayuden a matar esos estereotípicos retos que tenemos allí, ¿verdad? Que nos ponen. So thank you so much for listening. Let's get to it because this is really something that has really been something important to me, because I deal with a lot of men, or my husband is around a lot of men and, in his profession. And there are a lot of men that ask me why I chose, do I hate men? Why I chose to have this podcast that is for mujer-preneurs. And I chose it because that's where my passion is, and I've always been passionate. And my purpose is to empower the Mujer-Preneur so that they can gain clarity and focus on who they serve so they can up-level from brick and mortar to click and order and rock six figures. Se lo merecen, se lo merecen, ustedes se lo merecen. And that's so incredibly important. So it's my passion, my purpose. I've always worked with the underserved, the underrepresented, and the underprivileged, and it is my passion to help you succeed. So I hope I got that clear and you understand why I do what I do. Anyway, so as we're recording right here, it's really important for us to understand that, there are ways that men can be allies to Latinas to help overcome those stereotypical challenges. So, and if you're joining us now, hello, hola, welcome. Mujer de Éxito Podcast es el show para las mujeres, donde aquí damos historias de cómo llegaste de sobreviviente a exitosa, ¿verdad? And so whether you were in your business and you did something amazing and now you're thriving, or whether you did something amazing in your life, mind shift, whatever it is, so that you can share your story. It's so important that we share each other's stories and that we raise each other up. It's so important. We need to be raising each other up. So let me just say that I'm really excited to share with you 5 easy ways that men can be better allies to Latinas and BIPOC women entrepreneurs. So that's really where it's at. It's really important for you to really understand how that works, right? Because I get asked that question a lot. I get asked that question like, because, I'm a Latina biz coach, it doesn't mean that I shun away men. Absolutely not. And in fact, this podcast is not just for women. It can have a man. Every man in their life has a woman in their life that's gone from maybe surviving to thriving. And so their stories, we're sharing their stories. So as a Latina business coach, let me get into the nitty-gritty now. As a Latina business coach, I have seen firsthand the challenges that women of color face in the business world. Yo soy una de ellas. I'm one of them. And I'm one of you. Soy una de ustedes. I am excited to share some practical ways that you, hombrecitos, and if you don't like that, hombrecitos, if I've offended you by saying hombrecitos, hombresotes, you can support us Mujer-Preneurs. And it's clear that it's important that we work together to really knock down those stereotypes. So here we go. The first thing I want you to think about, hombres, porque les estoy hablando a ustedes. Active listening and learning. Cuando esté hablando una mujer, por favor pongan atención. Activamente estén escuchando y aprendiendo lo que ella está diciendo. As men, one of the most critical steps to becoming a better ally is to actively listen and learn from the experiences of the Mujer-Preneur, Latina, and BIPOC women entrepreneurs. Why? Because it is essential to create a safe space where mujeres can share their experiences without fear of judgment or disrespect, sin miedo de que alguien nos empiece a juzgar. Tenemos que manejar nuestro día sin el temor de que nos van a perder el respeto o que no nos van a escuchar. So I encourage you, men, hombres, to attend workshops, seminars, and events organized by Latina and BIPOC women entrepreneurs. You know, they keep trying to tell me that, all women are equal. No, we're not. I'm so sorry. We are not. We're different than our beautiful Asian counterparts as Latinas. We're different than, our BIPOC women. We're different. We're all different, culturally different, but Latinas especially, we grew up always having to fight our way through the, if you want to say, through the bush, right? We grew up peleando. Somos peleoneras, pero ¿por qué? We are peleoneras because we need to fight our way to the top. It's never been easy for us. Nothing was ever handed to us. And so when a coach tells me, oh, it's the same, I can teach you to be the same as, to get all customers because women are women. No, no es cierto. And if you're listening to this and you are a mujer-preneur y hablas español, please reach out to me and give me your opinion on this, because this is for another episode, but it's truly something that I really want to get off my chest. But moving on, when a man listens to us, it provides us an opportunity to feel listened to feel like we have something meaningful to say. And men, if you begin to really seek out, if you're a man and you work with women, seek out, workshops and things given by Latinas and notice how we are very different. Notice the whole setup is even different. So you can engage in meaningful dialogue and truly listen to their stories. It's important to approach these Latina events with an open mind and a willingness to learn and perhaps to serve if that's really what you want, if you really want to serve these women. You want to make sure that you're there because you can help to amplify their voices. Necesitamos los hombres. We need men to be our allies. You can help to amplify our voices. As men, como hombres, you have a platform and a voice that can be used to amplify the messages and the stories of Latina and BIPOC women entrepreneurs, of the Mujer-Preneurs. When you share their stories with your networks, it helps to increase the education, the visibility, and to promote their businesses. It's not an easy task for us Latinas to be entrepreneurs, to be mujer-preneurs, but we do it. So I encourage you men to invite Latina and BIPOC women entrepreneurs to speak at your conferences and on your panels. Why? Because the fact is, we are the largest segment of the population that is growing, and we are the largest entrepreneurial segment of the population that continues to grow. So if you truly want diversity and want to expand your reach, I highly recommend that you actively seek out Latinas who are either in your business niche or whatever it is, but seek out Latinas so you can get their voices. I know, and this is a point of contention, and I'm so sorry if I go off on a tangent, but it's so hard because for the longest time, every time I have a lot of mentors. I have a lot of social media mentors, and I see all of these beautiful women, and they're all white. What is it about that? And why don't I see anybody that looks like me? No Latinas up there. Is it that we haven't made it? I don't think so. I think we need to really get out there and begin to promote ourselves. Yes, we can ask, but the truth of the matter is you would be surprised how many times I've been turned down as a speaker because I'm Latina. And you may say, not true, Marty, but I'm telling you, I have lived it since I was 4 years old. So, men, using your social media platform to share their stories and promote their businesses can help to amplify the voices of these mujer-preneurs. And as always, provide mentorship and sponsorship. Take an active role in becoming that person that actively wants diversity, that actively gets out there. I have a mentor. Actually, she was my coach for a while. I paid for part of her courses. I created my course, and her name is Amy Porterfield. And I just want to say my hat's off to her, Amy. Eres hermosa. Besides the fact eres hermosa, you really, I get teary-eyed because I think the only one that I have seen, you are the only one that I have seen that actively goes out to make sure that every culture is represented on your team. And I really, really began to honor you and respect you when I saw that. So, mentorship and sponsorship is essential for any entrepreneur, but especially for the mujer-preneur. It's especially crucial for the Latina mujer-preneur, BIPOC woman entrepreneur, because having a mentor or a sponsor can help these women navigate the business world and connect with other professionals and access funding. One of the things that is not as prevalent for us mujer-preneurs is the funding. The funding to start our businesses, the funding to grow our businesses, the funding, it's so easy to find funding if you don't have a Spanish surname. But the moment you have a Spanish surname, those underwriters, I'm sorry, but those underwriters, the majority of them see that Spanish surname and boom, the door closes. And don't tell me no. I want you to prove to me it's not true, because I have been around the block. I don't get to be 55 and have all this stuff behind me, over 55, and have all these accomplishments behind me without knowing and learning. So I encourage you, men, to provide mentorship and sponsorship and offer guidance, even when it's not asked. Offer networking opportunities, offer financial support. Goodness, would it hurt you so much to offer something like that to a mujer-preneur? By doing so, you can help to level the playing field and ensure that the mujer-preneur, the Latina, the bilingual, the BIPOC woman entrepreneur have the same opportunities as everyone else. Challenge, hombres, los reto. I challenge you to challenge the stereotypes and the biases that are out there. Because there are a lot of biases out there against the mujer-preneur, against the Latina, against the bilingual, against the BIPOC woman entrepreneur. We often face stereotypes and biases in the business world. And these biases, amigas, chulas, I know can prevent us from accessing funding, opportunities, and resources that are open and easily accessible to our white counterparts. So I just want to say, if you are a mujer-preneur, get out there, stay strong, contact me. I will be able to help you, and I would love to help you. But let's get back to the men, los hombres. Men, you can challenge these stereotypes and biases by advocating for diversity and inclusion in your workplace, in your office, in your business. You can also call out any discriminatory behavior or language that you see or hear. And now here's another challenge, hombres. Here's another challenge. Why don't you invest in Latina and BIPOC women entrepreneurs? Invest in their in their growth, invest in their business, invest in their mentorship. When you do that, we begin to close that gap, because we as Latinas still to this day make 65 cents on every dollar our white male counterpart makes. And we're in 2023, amigas, chulas. We have a long way to go, but we need the help of los hombres. Necesitamos el apoyo y el respaldo de los hombres, pero los hombres que tengan corazón, los hombres que tengan en realidad, como decía mi papá, que se pongan los pantalones, no tengan miedo de ponerse los pantalones, right? So it's important. Finally, it's important that you see that you can support the Latina and BIPOC women entrepreneurs, like I said before, by investing in their businesses. Invest in their products, because it not only helps them grow, but it also contributes to the economic empowerment of our communities, our diverse communities. I encourage you, men, if you're listening to this, and mujer, if you are listening to this, share this with an hombre en tu vida, and share this with a man in your life. Right? I encourage you, men, to support the mujeres, support crowdfunding campaigns that are for Mujer-Preneurs, angel investing that are for Mujer-Preneurs, and help to promote these businesses to potential investors that I know that you guys come in contact with. And by doing so, you can help to create a more equitable and inclusive business environment for all of us, for toda la gente, todas las mujeres, everybody, all women, all men, everybody, anybody in the business environment. So, hombres, again, it is important that you understand that becoming a better ally to Latina and BIPOC women entrepreneurs, the Mujer-Preneurs, is essential for creating a more equitable and just society for all. Remember that by actively listening and amplifying their voices, our voices, providing mentorship and sponsorship, challenging stereotypes and biases, and investing in their businesses, men, hombres, you can help us, these Mujer-Preneurs, overcome the challenges that we face in order for us to be highly successful in the business world. Together we can work. Together we can work to create a more inclusive and diverse business world. Let's do that. Let's work together to create a more inclusive and diverse business world, one that benefits all of us, not just some of us, but all of us. So, amigas, chulas, if you know another Mujer-Preneur that needs to hear my words, that needs to hear this message, please share it out to the world. You help me by sharing this out to the world. And if you know a man, or if there's a man in your life, share this with them so they can listen too. Sometimes we need to teach our men. Necesitamos enseñarle a nuestros hombres cómo apoyarnos, how to help us, how to support us. It's not just about, I support you, so while you're doing your work, I'm downstairs doing nothing. No. So share this message out. And hombres, if you've been shared this message, it's because the woman that shared this message with you is one who thinks the world of you and would love a little more support and perhaps mentorship and maybe sponsorship in their business. So, if you have found value in this message, and I hope that you have, and you are watching me here on the YouTube channel, remember to share it out, comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that every time I go live, you are notified. It helps my channel grow, and it helps you because that way I give more content. If you like this content, I give more like this. And if you're listening on the podcast, si me estás escuchando por el audio en el podcast, te pido por favor que también pases este podcast a alguien que le puede servir. Share this podcast with somebody who can also benefit from this. As always, this is Marty Angel, the Latina Biz Coach, signing off and reminding you how incredibly grateful I am for each and every one of you. Wishing you all the best of health and wealth. Namaste. This episode brought to you by Celavive Hydrating and Lifting Sheet Mask. The Celavive Hydrating and Lifting Sheet Mask locks in intense moisture to perfectly prime your skin for restful sleep. Apply this relaxing hydration serum several times a week to pamper yourself and radiate your healthier looking complexion. Sheet masking is all the rage right now. Make it a regular part of your healthy skincare regimen today. Celavive Hydrating and Lifting Sheet Mask. Click the link below and get yours today.